Dr. Krishna joins us now. And Dr. Bhatta, thanks for coming in on this Friday morning. And we mentioned in the tease leading into the break, that we're talking about a person who, can you communicate to them in a coma? Is that actually possible to talk to someone who's in a coma? Communicate with them?
I agree. Now the question actually is, can you get a response back from them? But before we go there, we'll talk about Mr. Rudolph, who had a major surgery. And after the surgery, he did not wake up properly. He was always confused, agitated. So he was kept in a coma-like situation for about 14 days. His wife will come, hold his hand, and talk to him as if he is listening to her. Let's hear from her on this interview what she has to say about it.
Months and a week that he was in the hospital and the rehab unit combined. There's not much he remembers about the whole experience. But that's one thing that he did bring up a few times, and it was always the same story. And he seemed anxious to let us know about it.
I woke up and I looked down, and there was somebody there, and I realized it was me.
But he didn't recognize himself right away. And I asked him, kind of jokingly, because I was a bit skeptical at the time, so who told you it was you? And he said to me, you did. I think the main thing that I would want to get across to anybody is if you have someone who appears to be unaware of what's going on, whether it's a coma, confusion, any of that, I think you really need to talk to them. I like to think that Jim never felt alone in the hospital. I don't know that that's the case.
And she said that she never wanted Jim to feel like he was alone. Is that kind of one of the biggest things?
That's one of the things I think we should try to communicate. And the reason is, the MRI, in medicine we have brain MRIs that, there is one on the slide there. And this shows the cortex, and one of the lower arrow is amygdala, which is the hub of fear and emotions. So functional MRI is the new investigation tool, which shows that if you try to communicate with them, there is the cortex lights up, and if it is somebody close, like Margaret here, then the amygdala lights up. The newest report that came out earlier this month from a research in London and Belgium shows that you can get a yes and no answer from the patient who is under coma, some of them at least, by giving them some sort of, like, if you ask them that if the answer is yes, you play tennis in the court and certain area lights up, and if your answer is no, then you stand still and another area lights up. So this is the newest and latest. I think it's fascinating that medicine is going into that. Not only that can they hear, but can you get a response back from them.
And this has been published recently, New England Journal of Medicine, right?
Right. In earlier, first week of February.
Excellent. Sounds like very interesting stuff. Appreciate it. Thank you for coming in, and hopefully this stuff continues to go on. So
thank you.
Great. Thanks. Time now for a check on